So the tithe was crops of the field to give to the Levites. But Levites didn't have no land because they were doing the priest work. They had the temple back there. So they couldn't go and do the farming and plant crops. So all the other tribes of Israel, see on the sign there? All the other tribes had to take a tenth of their crop and give it to the Levites so they can have food and whatever, right? That's tithe. The pastor, he says, look, give me 10% of your money. And no, it's even more, so it's like 30%. They want more money, they're getting greedy. Driving around these big cars, right? Big houses, and they're lying to you. You know what I mean? Get all that church, bro, I'm telling you. All right, it's devilish, all right? You go to church, you said? All right. So look, let's show you who this is. So you would say, this is Christ or that man, which is in your mind, what you've been taught. Or what you've been taught. This one right here?
Yeah.
All right. So the Christian church, sorry to say, it's satanic.
Bring it out.
They don't teach you the Bible. They teach you a doctrine, a message that is not biblical. Let me show you. So they say this man's Christ. Let me show you. Give me that. Read that.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the revealing of Jesus Christ. We're going to reveal Christ to you. Read on.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
All right, so we're going to read what John is going to, description of Christ, the revealing of Christ. Give me
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So John sees his vision and he said his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now which one of these has white woolly hair? This side, right? And woolly here is normally relates to who? What race of people have woolly hair? Black people, right? So strike one, strike two against this man, right? White and woolly. This is long, stringy, and blonde, right? Read on.
His head and his hairs.
So Stacy, this is for you too. No, you don't gotta go. This is sis. This is important stuff. You believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you believe that one day you gotta go before God and ask for everything you've done? Judgment Day, you heard of that before? Yeah, you have heard of that. So you're running away from the Bible that's gonna save you in this life and the next.
Bring it out.
Your spirit has to go before God and ask for everything you did. So you gotta, this is important stuff. Because you're gonna go before God, it's not gonna look like this white man. It's gonna be a black man. And it's gonna say, what's your name? Tori. Did you keep my commandments, Tori? Did you know that I was a black man according to the Bible, Tori? And you gotta give him that answer. And right now, if you leave, you're not gonna have that answer, right? Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right? Eyes as a flame of fire, right? Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet like unto fine brass. You know what kind of brass is? The metal? Brown, right? Look down at his feet, so they brown brass look like feet, right? You know.
As if they burn in a furnace.
So that brass, if you burn it in a furnace, you burn anything. What color is it going to be? Black. He described Christ, not this man. So there's Christian churches, they lie to you. The whole lie, satanic. 1 John 3 and 10, 9. So you got to ask your pastor and everybody who says they're godly, they're Christian. Yeah.
1 John chapter 3 verse 10. In this the children of God are manifest.
So if you're a child of God or anybody around you claims to be God, this is what's going to reveal to you if they're godly or not, right?
And the children of the devil, whosoever doeth not righteousness.
So well does not righteousness, read,
is not of God.
It's not of God, right? Read on.
Neither he that loveth not his brother.
So if your pastor's saying this is Christ, he's lying, breaking the commandments. He's not righteous. Righteous means keep the commandments. So your fellow church members have been deceived. The pastor's deceiving you. Now, maybe it's unknowingly or he does know the truth. A lot of pastors, they worry about the money. Right? That's what they're about. And tithing is a law. But it wasn't about money. You do that? It's not about money. But why they ask you for money every week? That's another lie. Give me that. There's a lot of lies that these Christian pastors, because we grew up in a Christian church. So we've heard all the lies, but we started to read this Bible, got around men who understood the Bible and were keeping God's laws. And we repented because the truth is right here. Right? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt surely tithe all the increase of thy seed.
Of thy what?
Of thy seed.
So you're tithing your seed or your crops, right? That was the tithe. It wasn't money, right? Read on.
That the field bringeth forth.
Right, the field bringeth forth, right? The crops, read.
Year by year.
Right, jump down to 20, whatever. Levite, yeah, Levite.
Verse 27. And the Levite.
The Levite, right? This is the priest. Right? Read on.
That is within thy gates. Thou shalt not forsake him.
Not forsaken. Read on.
For he hath no part nor inheritance with thee.
So the tithe was crops of the field to give to the Levites. But the Levites didn't have no land because they were doing the priest work. They had the temple back there. So they couldn't go and do the farming and plant crops. So all the other tribes of Israel, you see on the sign here? All the other tribes had to take a tenth of their crop and give it to the Levites so they can have food and whatever, right? That's tithing. The pastor, he said, look, give me 10% of your money. And now it's even more, something like 20%. They want more money. They're getting greedy. Right, driving around these big cars, right? Big houses, and they're lying to you. You know what I mean? Get all that church, bro. I'm telling you. All right, it's devilish. All right. And look, our numbers on the back.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example.